I am cleaning the mass airflow sensor for the first time in an '07 Ford Ranger that has 155,939 miles. I'm going to crank it up and let it reach operating temperature so we can see the idle speed. The engine is warmed up and we've settled out at about 800 RPMs. So we'll see if it stays there after I clean the mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor is located right here in between the air filter box and the throttle body. So we have to take this part of the airbox assembly off and also loosen this clamp. There are 2 clips down below. Now on the mass airflow sensor, there should be an indicator for the airflow, should be an arrow, and it's on this side pointing towards the throttle body. But what I'm gonna do is make an orientation mark. So I just have to line up those marks and I know it goes back on the same way. On the underside of the wiring harness, this clip should actually be pushed in, and yours might be pushed in if you have that clip, but I need to pull this out and then press down on this release tab and pull that off. There are 2 screws, and these are T20 Torx. And there is the mass airflow sensor. When you clean your mass airflow sensor, you do not want to use carb spray, you do not want to use brake parts cleaner, you do not want to use throttle body cleaner. You want to use something specifically made for mass airflow sensors. So that's what I'm using. Here's a look inside of the mass airflow sensor. I hope that is focusing. And there's no access other than this side. All right, about 10 minutes later, looking down in there, it does look a lot cleaner and it does look dry for the most part. So I'm gonna get this reinstalled. So right here on the side, that arrow that I mentioned, that is for the airflow. So when you install it, you want that arrow pointing towards the throttle body. But I just need to go by those marks that I made on the side. So I line up my marks, reinstall the 2 screws. Again, these are T20 Torx. And thinking about this a little more, this may have been cleaned prior to my father-in-law purchasing this truck about 10 years ago in 2014, because if this had never been off, then why would that lock have been in the wrong position? So this may have been cleaned, but it's been at least 100,000 miles. So now reinstall the wiring harness, push it down until it clicks, and then push that red tab in. And now I'm gonna check the air filter while I have access to it. It hasn't been too long since I changed it out, so I think it's fine. A little bit dirty, but not bad. And now the clips. Hold on, let me show you those clips. This is one of the 2 clips, and when it's in lock position, you'll just pull up on this tab and that will release it. And then to lock it back, you hook this top portion in and then push down on the tab. And there's one on either side. And there are 3 tabs on the back side of this housing, and there are 3 slots that those tabs slide into right there. Now the hose back on. And now the 2 clips. That's it, let's crank it up. See what that idle speed looks like. Engine is warmed up, and I would say we're right at 800 again, but it's a smoother idle. It's not shaking. The steering wheel is not shaking as much as what it did before. So it did help a little bit in smoothing the idle out, but RPMs are right about the same. So that is it. That's as easy as it is to clean the mass airflow sensor on an '07 Ford Ranger. I would imagine this would apply to many other models of Ford Rangers and Mazda B-Series trucks. Don't forget, you need a T20 Torx to get the screws off. Use mass airflow sensor. Don't use carb spray. Don't use brake clean. Don't use a toothpick or a Q-tip. Spray it down, let it dry, reinstall it. Don't put anything in there to touch those sensors.